Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fixing Football podcast. This is another one of our extra preview episodes. Today I'll be hosting as Martin is still being a DJ at the weekend, and today we're going to be previewing Everton. And we have Ste here, Ste Grace, Everton fan, my friend from uni, old housemate, and his background of his house looks far better than it did when I used to live with him, so that's a good start. But welcome Ste, how are you?
Yeah, hi, yeah, not bad, thanks. How are you getting on?
Yeah, good, mate. We're recording on Sunday afternoon, our first game of the season, and my hope that we would go this full season without dropping a single point has been dashed with a 2-0 defeat away at Stockport. But we'll be covering that on a further episode, and I'll not be too despaired about that today. But today we're going to cover Everton, which is quite an interesting one because from the outside looking in with Everton, there's a lot going on, but also not a lot going on. So it's supposed to be an exciting new summer of change. Everything feels quite similar, but I'll let you go into that. But first of all, do you want to sort of tell us who you are, how long you've been supporting Everton, for those that haven't listened before when you've been on, Steve?
Yeah, I've been a fan since I was a kid, yeah. So just about remember us winning our last trophy in '95.
Do you remember that? I don't remember ever talked about that. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah. I obviously don't remember how the game was going, but I remember being there watching the game, watching it on the telly, I mean. But yeah, one of my first big memories of Goodison was going there for the trophy parade after it. But yeah.
What trophy was that you won then?
That was the FA Cup. So
right, okay.
Yeah, so it's so long ago that Neville Southall was man of the match.
Who was it you beat the fan?
Man U.
Man U.
Yeah. So it was a bit of an underdog win, but yeah, a good one. Neville Southall was on the ball.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that was the year we lost in the League Cup final to Liverpool. I think that's the same year because I think we were the McManaman final where he absolutely ripped us apart. I think we went 1-0 up. I don't remember it, but I remember similar to you actually. Because we were the what would be Division 1 then, not Premier League. We still did like an open top bus thing for like the final kind of team. So I do remember that. I remember I didn't go to the game. I remember Dad going to Wembley and coming back, and there being a big game on. But I was 5 or 4 then, so I don't really.
Yeah. I think I was kind of slightly young enough to be distracted during that final. Like it was a sunny day, and I was in and out the garden and the living room kind of thing. So I can't say I was right behind the team all the way. But yeah. So that would have been when it was Coca-Cola Cup, wasn't it? Because that was
Coca-Cola final. Yeah, I think they beat us 2-1. Both fans might tell me I was wrong in that, but that seems to be my recollection of that game. But yeah, it's more the season after that I remember as my first sort of proper Bolton season. I think we're in the Premier League when it was the year where we were only there for 1 year, and on the last day it was between us two.
Yeah.
No, it weren't that. No, it weren't that one. No, it was that one. Yeah, it was that one. Yeah.
Well, it ended in '98. That one, yeah. I think, or at least started in '98. Yeah.
No, you're right. That was the later one. It was the year we finished bottom, I think. The year that I remember thinking of that we went up.
Okay. Yeah, because I only found out it was post VAR that there was the first game at the Reebok was Bolton Everton, wasn't it? And there was a goal line.
The goal score, yeah.
Yeah. Which is it's a good example of kind of selective history that you get from different fans, because I'd never heard that from an Everton fan until.
It's a proper sliding doors one, that, isn't it? Because that first game of the season, but obviously that season we finished level on points, didn't we? With you stayed up on goal difference, and I think at that point it was the highest points total that someone had got relegated with at that point. So it was like a proper what could have been moment, really. But I'll be honest, I was at that game. And I distinctly remember no one really appealing for it either, but it was miles over. It was only after that, when people got on, they were like, "Oh my god, we've been absolutely stitched there."
Yeah. But you can kind of both agree that both teams weren't the best in the league that
No,
season. Like, yeah, but yeah,
no, we
dire
had quite a fun team. Like Peter Beardsley was playing for us that year.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah. He's one of those Tour of the Northwest players then.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. You always see him because he was doing a lot of academy stuff before. Obviously, he got in trouble for shouting at them all the time. But I remember used to see him quite a lot. He used to bring his Newcastle academies to Bolton. Like pre-season friendlies and stuff. You just see him all sat there all the time. So,
okay.
But yeah, he got a bit of a sketchy guy by all accounts. But anyway, moving on. So that was a bit more longer term history, Steve. Tell us about last season and where Everton are over the summer.
Yeah, you've got to say it's a net positive because it's based on, well, last year we could have ended up with these awful owners from 777 who are going through all sorts of legal problems at the moment. I've kind of dodged a bullet with the Premier League being quite stringent with the checks on them and not allowing them to buy us. So we've got these new American owners, and they seem to be making the right noises. And I'm putting the money into the club, which is good. And so we've had that big change. So that's changed up the whole recruitment team, but we've also changed managers in January, going from Dyche, who I've got respect for Dyche. He did do a good job, but it was very uninspiring by the end of his term. We were even the 0-0 draws we were getting against City and Arsenal in his last few games. It kind of felt like that was the pinnacle of what that team together in that way could do.
Yeah,
it was just bend games out. So it was amazing to see Moyes make a difference to that, and get strengths out of Beto that we didn't really know were there. He's still a very limited player, but he's if you play to strengths, you're going to get something out of them.
That's interesting. So I see quite a few different opinions on Dyche from Everton fans. Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of it is based on how the very end was. So if you're very short-term memory about it, then you think how miserable it was to go to those games because you just turned up not expecting us to attack, just expecting the odd long ball and hoping for a bit of chaos resulting from that.
Bit of Dwight McNeil magic kind of thing.
Yeah. More to that way of Decore, really. I think he thrives on chaos. And I think we'd still have him now if it wasn't for his expensive contract. I think we'd have given him a year just to have him come on for those kind of situations.
That ball bouncing about, because he's quite dynamic, Decore is. He tends to always seem to arrive in at the right time, doesn't he, for an opportunity?
Yeah, that kind of thing. I think he likes it when no one's in control of the ball, and then he gets a chance to put it in an even more awkward position. He is a good player, but I can see why he's wanting more wages. But we might go on to that. That's more him and Calvert-Lewin in a similar bracket with that, really.
Yeah, we'll touch on transfers in a bit. But what about the summer itself? Like how are Everton fans feeling right now?
I think that depends on what your expectation was, because we were told to be excited. I'm still kind of excited about it, but I 100% didn't expect to go into the first game this season with a full squad, or what looks like a full squad. Just because of the market we're in, we've got a lot more money now, but we've got so many players to buy that we can't just splash out on people. And at the start of this, we've got to kind of set this new regime. You've got to set a precedent of not overpaying on wages as well. So I think they've held firm in some respects, and they've been putting out sensible offers sensible but ambitious offers, I think. But what I'm hearing from that really is that I think I think there's a lot of players we've gone for that are kind of seeing what else is on the table, and we might see a lot more of the higher quality signings later in the window. But as how the mood is in general. I think a lot of fans are starting to panic a little bit because we've just started. Well, we're going into the third game of the little USA tournament today, and
the summer series thing. Are you? I'm not really. I'm not pretending I'm showing interest. Are you in that this year?
yeah, and it's not the most important thing in the world to be playing well there, but we do have quite a big American following, and so there's a lot of players, a lot of fans going to the first games and just watching us piece together a team to play. We played all right against Bournemouth in the first game, but then they made a load of subs and we didn't, and it was 30
surely
degrees.
They'd want the proper. I was going to say, surely they're the proper Everton experience. You're not going to be like turning up and absolutely playing teams off the park and looking amazing. Like, surely they'd want it to be an authentic. These American fans get to see Everton in the flesh.
That Bournemouth game was incredibly authentic because always against Bournemouth, we've had that happen before. 3 goals against us in 10 minutes after playing very well for 50 minutes. So,
I know that I don't know what score did that game finish? I don't have a clue.
3-0 to Bournemouth in the end. Yeah.
And if I remember rightly from speaking to Luke, Bournemouth looked a little bit poor when they played against United in the same tournament. So it's not a great result by. They've lost quite a lot of players, Bournemouth as well, haven't they?
Yeah, or they've lost more key players, really.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but they were still able to bring Semenyo on against. We had one fit centre half for that game, and that's kind of funny as well. We're looking at all the fans are kind of looking at what positions we need to cover, and then we say, okay,
that was going to be my next question actually, because we'll swiftly move on. What do you think are the top 3 most important?
Right wing, it would be the most important now because we just have no one there.
Who was it? Harrison? Was it Jack Harrison last year covering there?
Yeah. There are the odd rumours of him coming back on loan again, or it was paying out for him, but he's very limited. He does look good sometimes, but I think when he gets given the defensive side to do, he does that side well. But when he's defending well, he doesn't attack well. He can't. I think he struggles to fit both into the games. Yeah.
Because you want a bit of threat on the break, don't you? I suppose.
But I think all of us want a right-footed player there as well.
Yeah,
Someone who can get down the line and cross it.
Are you linked with anyone in that position?
At the moment, I haven't seen anything in particular at the moment, but they must be looking at people because it's just impossible that they're not. So that's why I was kind of surprised with the Grealish links that we've been getting as well, because just with the limited money we've got for wages, we've actually got 2 left-sided players with Ndiaye and McNeil. And
if I remember rightly with Grealish as well, wasn't it like, didn't Villa pretty much leak the offer that they offered him to stay at like £400,000 a week or something? Like, so
really?
I might be wrong here. I might be wrong, but I seem to remember like them saying that we've matched his City offer and they basically published it to basically say to Villa fans, we've done everything that we can to keep him. I sort of vaguely remember this happening at the time, but I'm sure it was like around £400,000 a week.
Yeah, I hear the odd thing of 300 at the moment. So yeah, people are. Well, I just didn't believe the rumor outright at first, but it keeps coming up, and there's definitely been contact between the two about him. But it's the only way it could possibly happen, I think, is if City were to loan him to us, and we get and they pay a certain amount of his wages.
Yeah, I agree.
But they'd still be paying out over about 200 a week for him. So yeah. There's lots of things like that would be end of the window stuff, isn't it?
So that's right wing. Where else do you think you need someone desperately?
Right fullback looks important. At the moment, we do have 2 there, but one of them's Seamus Coleman, who's been kept on.
Is he doing another year, Seamus? Is he doing another year?
Yeah. And Moyes has pretty much said that he's more there for what he does in the dressing room kind of thing, to be that link between the manager and players.
Grace.
And he'll, yeah. He's, I can see why, but they need, he'll be the backup one.
Surely a Premier League standard footballer would be more of a use in the dressing room than someone who knows David Moyes.
Oh yeah, no, I think he does do a lot. Like he's going into the coaching side of things as well. But it's but the main issue is our first choice right back is Nathan Patterson. No, he's gone now. It's Patterson, but he has been given a chance by 4 different managers now, and all of them have given up on him after a couple of games.
What a ringing endorsement for Patterson there. But I always remember, a bit of a memory for you. Don't know if you remember this, but I remember pretty much when we first met. It was when you had qualified for the Champions League after all those years, and it was the playoff game. And I remember you at that point telling me how shit Seamus Coleman was when he was coming through, and that you were pretty much blaming. Was it a Lisbon home and away, maybe?
So that wouldn't have been Champions League, that would have been Europa League. But I do remember that game. I didn't know at that point that he's a right back, but he played so bad at left back that I thought he's just got nothing to him. Like I honestly believe
I get it.
Yeah.
I used to always think the same as Rob Holding. And like when Rob Holding played for us, I'm like, this guy's shit. And then all of a sudden, like Arsenal were linked with him, and I was like, what? Like, anyway. But well done to Seamus Coleman. He's had a great career despite us slagging him off in the old pipe pot in Salford. So, okay, I have 2 things we've covered there. That'll do for any of the business. So, it's an interesting one with where you are at the moment. And I think I know your answer to this, but I'll be keen to you. Who's your main mon at the moment?
It's hard to say. Well, based on the wages and that, it looks like it's still Pickford.
Who's your best player? Who do you think's your best player? Let me change the question a bit.
I'd have to say Njai at the moment.
Yeah, I thought Njai and Pickford. I'd say are your 2 best. From an ex-sider's perspective, I would say they're your 2 best players.
Yeah. I think we're lucky to have Pickford the last few years, especially keeping the way he did keep us up, really.
He really kicked up, because I know he did struggle for the odd mistake, especially from long distance a few years back, but that seems to have completely gone now.
Yeah, but there was a point where he said he started going to a sports psychologist, and he started acting a lot less erratic after that. He was a lot more. You could tell he still acts a bit mad, but you can tell he's kind of enjoying himself and not.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
Reacting to stuff. Yeah.
Like it's a game of football, which I know, like, a lot of people don't want players to see it that way, but I think from a goalkeeper perspective, you are going to make mistakes, aren't you? Like you don't want it to think of it as the end of the world when you drop one and someone scores, because it's going to happen, isn't it?
Aye. Yeah, I think he normally makes kind of has like one bad game a season now. But
can live with that,
yeah. And Tarkowski seems the same, really. But I feel like
he lives that way. It lives that way, Tarkowski.
Really?
Yeah, Horwich's finest. Yeah.
Okay. Big fella.
Yeah.
But he's only just coming back.
He's living amongst the big men, isn't he? Back here. But anyway, yeah. So and Njai, he's a bit of a maverick, isn't he?
It's quality. Like, surprising how much the ball sticks to him. I did hear a quote from it was a lot of Sheffield United fans agreed that he was their best player ever before they left. Obviously, it wasn't in the top tier with them, but it was kind of surprising to hear them say that. And,
because they sold him, didn't they? When they went up, they sold him, didn't they, abroad? And I remember us talking about that at the time, because we were like, it was to do with the financial issues that they had at the time, wasn't it? They almost got promoted like by accident almost that year.
Right. Yeah. He's a quality player. Like he's just the way he holds on to it. But So it is starting to feel a little bit like early Moyes last time round, which is nice. We're because having him there, we always had kind of one player that could take other players on. So in early days of kind of Arteta, that kind of player.
Stevie P as well.
And P&O, yeah. Well, that's when it kind of really felt like we're stepping on, having both Arteta and P&O at the same time, because because then you wouldn't just get one of them marked out the game. So, yeah, you could actually have options. But, yeah, I'd be surprised if we got another creative player at Inzaghi's standards this transfer window, but it would change the outlook on the season dramatically if we did.
Who was on the other wing in that set? I'm struggling to remember. Is it Kilban as a left midfielder?
He was often there at the start, yeah. Oh, on the right. Do you mean on the right?
Oh, yeah, Pienaar was left.
On the left. Yeah, that kind of just got swapped around a lot. It was often Morales or
Morales
or Osman would be out there quite a lot, and kind of swapping inside with people a lot. There's yeah, we've always kind of quite struggled with right wingers, really. It's, yeah, I can't remember us having a solid one for a few years.
Billy Netdenoff.
He was slightly disappointing. I'll tell you, get players like that who've got so much quality. You see it in little glimpses. You know, it's
we've had quite a few of them over the last decade, but I would almost say almost zero glimpses is generally what we tend to see now. So glimpses when they play for other sides before us and after us, but not when they're with us.
Right. Yeah. Well, the ones that's springing to mind for me is Elmander for you guys. Yeah. He just suddenly turned up at one point, didn't he?
Melmander, right? And I see that goal all the time because it gets shared online, doesn't it? Like if this was scored by X player, you would never always. You can't turn around for it. It gets shared every day, almost that goal. I watch Owen Elmander enough to know he didn't fucking mean that goal. So I don't treat it with I don't treat the respect it deserves because I watched him even when he scored. I remember where I was when he scored that goal. I was in a pub in Bolton Town Centre. And we were away at Wolves and went 3-0 up. Like it was like the height of Owen Coyle ball when he sort of first took over us, and we were like fourth in the league in like March before we had those injuries and all sorts. And then it all went wrong spectacularly, forever almost really. But like the high before the absolute decade-long descent of 4 relegations, whatever it's been since then. But anyway.
The least hyperbolic forever I've heard you say that, I think. Like it's actually quite true.
Like when was that? What was that? 2008, 9? Like, and I don't
Something
think
around there.
It's like we've not won a game since then. Like,
yeah.
even the time when we got promoted, we were fucking in COVID, so we had to watch it on telly. But that was from League 2. That's promotion from League 2, by the way. League 2. Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about Everton today. But anyway, good. Billy Netdenoff. Right, so is there a young player to watch out for this season?
Ooh. Potentially Harrison Armstrong. He's looking pretty solid in the middle. He's quite a classy looking player. But again, it depends how the transfers go. If we get a couple of centre mids, he might end up out on loan.
Yeah.
But he did well at Derby last year, Harrison Armstrong. He's
is it that Armstrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, he's quite strong and classy on the ball. He's and always seems to be able to look up more than a lot of other players, you know. And, yeah, he looks decent. Else really, we kind of struggle with the youth. Really, we sold a lot off. The academy's not been what it's been in the last few years because to sell.
Dobbin was the one, wasn't he? But you sold him for not for PSR purposes, but definitely for PSR purposes.
Yeah.
Has he had a look in at Villa? Do you know? Have you cared? Have you seen? I first just remember him now from talking about this.
I think I heard of him going out on loan from Villa in
Lewis,
January, maybe.
Lewis Dobbin.
Yeah. Yeah, again, he looked all right. Who else have we got?
No, he's still at Villa. He's 22 now as well. So he's not. Oh no, he's at Norwich. Oh, he's at Norwich last year. Yeah. Okay, so he had 2 loans last year. West Brom for the first half of the year, and then Norwich for the second half. That's not good because that's quite a drop off, I would say. West Brom are pushing for the playoffs. Norwich are having an absolute nothing season last season.
Oh, right.
So that's not a good trajectory, I would say. That's trajectory of top end League One loan this season potentially. Like,
right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like some rare good business from us then to have done that. Like,
Well, we need a striker, so you know who knows. I did see him because we played you in a pre-season friendly. Didn't we? Was it a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I think there was one last summer, wasn't there? I was away because I would have come down for that.
Either way, he was playing for you at that point, and I thought it was poor, to be honest. He was leading the line, and I was kind of watching him because I sort of remember that he was like not the next big hope. That's pushing it, but he was the one that was getting game time at that point, and I remember just thinking, you're not really making a mark on us here. And there's always a difference when you watch a Premier League team play like a League One team. It does tell, like especially when you watch it in the flesh, like you can see the difference. Like even the small League One Premier League clubs that come, like we played Luton last season, 2 seasons ago when they were in the Premier League, and they had like Barkley and Townsend, and they were just miles better than us. Now they're in our league this year, but it's different. Yeah. It was different then, if you know what I mean. But he didn't really impress. But anyway, that again.
I think quite often as well, you'll see that the Prem clubs aren't as ready as the League One clubs. Really, you're normally a week or 2 ahead in the schedule, aren't you? In terms of fitness.
Yeah, it's always that second round of the League Cup's always an interesting one for that. But we've got Sheffield Wednesday in that, so I don't even know if that's going to go ahead. That first, I don't even know what's going to happen with that. We've got them first, like the next Tuesday at home. Not this Tuesday coming, the one after. And yeah, Sheffield Wednesday at home. Who knows what's going to happen with that? We'll probably cover that on a podcast at some point in the next couple of weeks. Got a lot to go through with the Paqueta news and stuff like that. So we'll probably cover that. But what are your expectations for this season then, Steve, given the fact that you've almost don't know what your team's going to be?
Yeah, that's fair. It's very hard to make prediction based on it. But we'd say, I think what everyone's hoping for is to at least look like a team that can push for Europe the season after. You know, putting in the kind of structure for that, really. So we want to be as close to the kind of group of teams that's let's go in for Europe as possible.
I saw Jonathan. I think it was Jonathan Wilson in The Guardian said that if he was an Everton fan, and I might be wrong, it might not be Jonathan Wilson, but I think it was, that he'd be worried that Moyes is killing the vibe a little bit. That you've almost got this exciting new vibe, and he's kind of like an old man, sort of bringing the vibe down and trying to make everything process and method driven. And what you want is someone like maybe Andoni Iraola, someone with a bit more swagger and coolness. That type of manager would fit the brand better. I don't know what your thoughts were on that.
I don't know. I think we're a bit tired as fans of so many years of things not being very well processed and thought out ahead, you know.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think the Moyes that we've got now is a lot more positive talking than the Moyes we've had in the past. The Moyes we had first time round wouldn't have gone into this window saying how many players we need to sign. I don't think. And
he's got a bit more about him, and he doesn't feel like he has to prove anything anymore. I think he's with him. If he lost the Everton job, he knows there'd be another job for him somewhere. I think, but that's almost a good thing because he can be free, can't he?
Yeah, to an extent, and I think he's trusted by the fans as well. So you can say what he thinks to some extent a little bit more. I think, maybe first time around, I think he might have got into more of a habit of trying to manage expectations of fans a little bit more. Whereas now, I feel like he might have heard some of the criticisms of him. You know, when he left and we got Martinez in, who was the most positive man in the
Was that
world.
the next one? In my head,
Yeah.
Martinez was later, but fair enough.
Yeah, we went straight. So part of why Martinez did so well was he had a Moyes back four that knew what they were doing, and then he
played
made
that
the
mad.
attack very flowing
Yeah,
in front.
he played that mad 3-4-3, didn't he, Martinez?
We'd get Gareth Barry dropping into the back three quite often. Yeah. It was a fun season, that. But
I like that
that's what a lot of
formation.
people were saying at the time.
I like that formation, but you know that this is the little tidbit for you. Only one team in Premier League history has ever won the league with three at the back. It's only been done once.
Is that Chelsea that time?
Yeah, Conte's Chelsea.
Conte,
No one else has ever done it. So I like it, but maybe statistics prove that it doesn't really work.
Yeah. Well, we saw Everton play three at the back against Bournemouth the other night, just because we've got no centre halves, so we had to bring wing backs in from midfield and then put the full backs into the three at the back. So Moyes isn't scared of three at the back. I think he's did it a few times before he left the first time round. But I could see us. Yeah, four at the back seems to make sense for us as it is.
We've had 5 years of three at the back under Everton, and I never ever want to see us play three at the back again.
Really?
But anyway, we're not talking about the stadium, Steve. What's it called again now? It's got a name now, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, everyone here just refers to it as the new stadium.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Actually, I'll tell you. But what's how long was it before you started calling the Reebok, or did you take it straight away with it being a local brand?
Yeah, that was early. That was all. Thing is with Reebok, they announced that early because Reebok's so tied to Bolton, like founded here and that kind of stuff, and it was still kind of in its pomp then, really. So yeah, it was always the Reebok Stadium from even like in planning. It was going to be the Reebok. They that was part of the money raised to build it. Was that? It is interesting though, just to give you a bit of a link to this, is that the steelworks outside my estate, a lot of that went to Bramley-Moore Dock. So they were having to shut all the roads maybe about 2 years ago while massive girders were going overnight down that way, which happened quite a few times. With like big builds in the area. But yeah, a lot of it was built here.
I know a lot of it was built off-site.
Yeah.
The name of the stadium's Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Solicitors.
It's a local firm. Apparently they paid well for it. But
I'm not going to make the joke that they'll get a lot of work around there. I'm sure others will make that joke in the season. I wouldn't make that joke, but
of course not. I think people's main issue with it is that there's so much potential with the words "dick" in Sun, like being written all over the stadium.
Yeah.
So,
we're currently playing. We're currently playing in the Tough Sheet Stadium. In my experience, no one really cares anymore. Like, someone makes a joke, it's like, yeah, nice one, mate. Yeah. I honestly, I'd call it what is it in Peep Show? The Swan and Pedo. It don't matter to me what we call that stadium now. As long as we're getting our money for it, I don't give a fuck anymore. All those days are gone, I think.
Well, yeah. Well, I think once you've been through a few changes as well, you kind of get a bit immune to it, right?
Yeah, it's just a revenue stream. Maybe it's sad because you have like the old Burning and stuff like that, and people still call it the Reebok to you. But even when I misname it now, I call it the Macron. Weirdly, like if I misname it, I call it the Macron. I don't know why I do that, but I never call it the Reebok. It's either the Macron or the Tough Sheet. I never call it anything else. We had it as the University of Bolton Stadium, and people started calling it the Unibowl, which was horrific. With everything else going on at the time, that was particularly dark things for our stadium to be called, I thought. But go on, you've been, Steve. You're one of the few Everton fans that have been to the stadium. Tell us what it's like. Is it full of water, and is it Paulie May like all the social media suggests?
Yeah, it was odd that when that post came through, because it was raining and it was flying down the stairs of one of the main bits of stand. Actually, where my seat's going to be for the first game of this season. I won the ballot to get a ticket for this game.
Nice.
I'm right up in that corner.
Which stand is that?
The south stand, so it'll be the home end. They've left one end of it bigger to be a home end, I think.
Is that like your new? Because I've seen like it's quite a steep stand. You're not calling it a cop, but you've tried to build something that's not quite a cop because you've made it 2 tiers, but it kind of is a cop as well.
Yeah, it's originally made to look like 1 tier. I think that was part of the brief of it.
But it's not. It's crucially not a cop.
Yeah, the way they marketed it was a home end.
Yeah,
but at the same time, we didn't need selling on a home end because we wanted one after having had the Gladys Street being so good. Yeah,
I think some football fans don't realise that because Liverpool have monopolised that term so much that a cop end is literally just a one stand end behind a goal that's full of home fans. Like, there's loads of cop ends. Like, the Hull at Villa's a cop end. Like, Bolton at Burnley had a cop end with the Lever Park end. But they've really sort of monopolised it, haven't they, really?
Yeah, I've forgotten what the naming history is behind it. It's something to do with something in a war, is it? Is it the Boer War or something? And it was about people attacking downhill on an actual hill. So I think it's when it's built on a hill. But I know Tranmere have got a cop as well. That's massive as well.
They're very, very common.
Yeah. Ours is more based on the footprint of the site. So where the away end is quite tight against the edge of the where the site ends.
Where the sea is.
So yeah. Oh, well, going around that way is actually quite a bit of space. There's some steps down to the canal before the river.
Is that freshwater or seawater? That bit.
The little canal is it's canal water, and then it goes onto the Mersey, which will be it's very tidal. So the Mersey is always looking brown, even when the water's clean. It's very silty. So it's
not clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, so the whole thing with when it was raining in, the club came out in reaction to that saying, we've got this siphon technology, so it's going to be a way that it just isn't all connected yet, of collecting all the roof water, and that hadn't all been connected yet.
Fair enough.
But the way that was written in reaction, I wasn't fully convinced. But I haven't seen anything since. So
it's like when I saw it, I must admit I had a bit of a laugh. But it's just like when you build anything, there's always a snag list. Like, my house is a new build house. There was loads of stuff on my snag list. I'm building a fucking 60,000 seater football stadium. There's going to be a few snags. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like, it's the key thing as well is that it's not, even when we go in a couple of weeks, it's going to be it's still not going to be the same stadium as how it ends the season.
Oh, really?
There'll be a lot of stuff still to come in, more aesthetic stuff really, but and stuff that makes it look homely. So even stuff like coloured seating to make the
candles
TFC
and
the seats. So
like candles and that and stuff like that.
Candles, fairy lights. Just all signage as well. I think there's some safety brief that suggests that we should only have essential signage at first on a lot of the concourses.
Okay, so people get familiar with thingy signs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's going to look a bit bland at first and airporty before
it's very Bundesliga, I think. When I see pictures of it.
Yeah. It's odd because all the fans did get a questionnaire about the stadium, and it was very hard to think what you wanted. But I think there was a couple of things that I liked, like at least the home end to go below pitch level layer. I think that's good for the intimidation a little bit when where it comes up to kind of chest height, people at kind of chest height to the pitch. I think that adds to the
Unless you sat there.
It could be good. Well, yeah, but people do. People want to be right at the front and right at the pitch, don't they? But,
I remember that being, and I'm not bringing up Liverpool, but it's just where I had the ticket where it was. But when I went to Liverpool away with Bolton, I had a front row seat then, and I could barely see. Like that's similar there, innit? And I must admit, I absolutely hated it. Like so, it wouldn't get a vote. Really? It wouldn't get a vote from me, that one.
Fair enough. But yeah, certain things I would have liked the stands to look slightly different in some respect. But yeah, what I'm to say, at the same time, I think a lot of it, there's a lot of pluses to come with it as well. Apart from being able, the service that you get, like it looks like it would be manageable to actually get a pint at half time now.
Yeah, new arenas are much miles better at that. Have you like Co-op Live in Manchester? Like that didn't need building. Like, but no, it's there. It's absolutely class to watch gigs in. Like, you can get a pint in like a couple seconds. Like, it's new stadiums just far better for that kind of stuff than old ones.
Yeah, and it's just little things as well, like how they've built the roof in a certain way to make the noise stay in the stadium a bit better. So it should be louder in theory when it's loud.
I mean, to be fair as well, the loudest recorded noise in football is Everton fans when there's a foul that they think they should have got but didn't get. Like that's probably the loudest noise in the history of football. That one, like, so I can't wait to hear that with a new noise reflecting stands. That'll be quite good. Right,
yeah,
we're drifting, Steve. We're drifting. We're not going to lose people. Right. So, what's wrong with Everton that you'd fix? Because that's our whole stick. We don't really stick to it enough. So,
it's the squad size. It's hard to look past that, really. Other things are just too fresh to look at in any other way as well. Like, the recruitment team's all new, the manager's relatively new, and his team come in. Yeah, I think squad size, because it has been for a little while, really. The amount of games I've been at where we can only make maybe one or two subs at most, and don't really want to make them. And then you see the other team bring on 4 subs at 60 minutes.
And in tight games, that could be the difference in tight games, Kai. Brilliant. So before we finish off, Steve, it's got one more question. I'm more curious. It's not on our list of prepared questions that Martin doesn't like me breaking the fourth wall and say that I'm reading from. But where's Calvert-Lewin going to end up, do you think?
Oh, no idea. Did I hear a rumour about him with Leeds, but he was asking too much with his wages?
I don't think that's the move. Do you know where I think he should go? He should go to a top team as a backup striker. That's what I think. Like, Arsenal just don't got Gyökeres. Calvert-Lewin as a cup striker / 5 subs a game type striker. I think he needs less work, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it would suit him, and not having the pressure of having to be fit every game. Yeah, or 100% fit every game if he's going to come on.
Yeah. I think it was right to leave Everton, and I think it was good for you to cut him. I just think it was good for everyone, but I think he needs that kind of move. He doesn't want to be he'll know what he wants. Not going to listen to me, but I think he'd be far better suited to that kind of role.
It kind of makes sense as well. Yeah. His wages were going to be the wages he wanted, because he's 29, so he's on his kind of his last big contract.
Is he 29 now?
Yeah.
Where's our live going? Like,
that's scary.
But it's 29. Sorry.
But so yeah, he's basically looking for his last big contract. So yeah, so now
I know a place you can get that. I know a better place. Yeah.
yeah.
I've got a feeling he'll not fancy that though.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I reckon he's got a slight hope of making an England squad at some point if he makes the right move here.
I would never want to. I would never want to dash anyone's hopes either, so I'm just gonna leave that hanging. But anyway, we'll leave on that note.
I doubt he'll make it there, but I reckon that's the way he's thinking to some degree. Yeah,
well, you know, we've all got to have hope. If we don't have hope, Steve, what's the point? So, you know, who am I to tell him what his dream should be? Anyway, Steve, do you like engaging with Everton fans on Twitter? Are they nice people? Do you want me to give you a shout out, or do you just want to sort of go back into your sort of little music troll cave that you live in, or do you want me to sort of share your socials on here?
Can't do. I don't really use Twitter though.
You know,
no,
it was bad before. It's an absolute cesspit now. It's horrendous. Yeah, it's the worst. I suggested that a Wigan player was worth £1 million, and the amount of abuse that I got was horrendous. Anyway, but okay, so we'll not share your socials. Don't worry about that. But anyway, so we're going to leave it there today, Steve. But thanks for joining on. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's always good to catch you up anyway.
Yeah, perfect. Well, we're going to do some proper, like, once the transfer window shuts, we tend to do like a full sort of season review, not review, that's at the end, preview. We tend to leave it to Thingy, but we'll get your view on that as well. But hopefully we should have a couple more of these lined up. I think we've got a Blackpool fan, so that'll be interesting. I don't know who's going to look after all the donkeys and animals when they're doing the podcast, but apparently we've got a Blackpool fan doing one, so we've got some more views coming. We've had a Stockport fan bottle it a couple of days ago. Probably, I imagine now he's going to put himself forward to do it dead triumphantly, so we'll see if that happens. And hopefully a couple more with Chelsea and Man United people coming on. But yeah, thanks for jumping on, Steve.
Cheers. Yeah, always a pleasure.
Perfect. The proper podcast is back on Tuesday. It'll be released, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to do quite a lot's happening 2 weeks off, considering nothing was happening for the weeks before. That's why we took a few break. But we'll see what happens between now and then. And you can find everything on www.fixingfootballpodcast.com. Please, I'm not saying like, sub, and subscribe. I'm not saying that. I would never say that to you. But, you know, like, we'd literally get like 5 people listening. So at some point, please share it. Anyway, right. Thanks, guys. Bye, Steve.
Cheers. Bye.